DD214 Gaming Podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Gaming is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now because we have you.
Fucking there we go. Well, pilgrims, it's been another 168. So sit on down, load up your corncob pipe, crack a beer. Let's chew on some fucking trail dust together for a couple minutes. How about it? All right.
Are you ready?
What are we doing?
We're gonna run for our lives.
We're halfway home.
Halfway?
I'm Chicky Donahue, and I am not supposed to be in Vietnam.
Hey, get your ass out of bed, you lazy bum. Look at you, sleeping your life away.
Look at these scumbags. Hey, you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing your family.
Do these protesters not know that our soldiers see that on TV? I'd like to go over to Vietnam, track down all the boys in the neighborhood, and give them a beer.
I could do that.
Do what?
Bring in beer.
He's not serious. He's hammered. Look at him.
The man's stone sober. That's his fifth beer, maybe, tops.
I'm going to Vietnam and I'm bringing a beer! Yeah! Hey, Chief, no chance you have a ship heading to Vietnam.
1,700 hours.
Tonight? It's not gonna be easy. But I'm gonna show them that this country is still behind them.
You're gonna get yourself killed over there.
It's like you said, everyone's doing something. I'm doing nothing.
Smuggling beer into a war zone? That's not the smartest thing I've ever heard of. It's certainly not the worst either.
What if you start up here with Collins?
Just came to deliver a sudsy thank you card.
And then, if you're still alive,
You American? New York. Thanks a lot.
you can hustle down to Dugan.
Ta-da!
Tricky?
I brought you beer.
You shouldn't be here. You think this is funny?
I'm not doing this for laughs. I'm doing it for all you guys.
Come on, time to go.
Is it over?
Yeah, you're dead. You don't get it, do you, chick? This isn't a John Wayne movie where you know who the good guys are and you know who the bad guys are.
I didn't come all this way just to quit.
Somebody's got to be here to see what's going on. I want the truth told. For them. They're just kids.
You're gonna find out it's a lot harder to get out of a war than it is to get into one.
I'm trying to show them that somebody back home is still behind them.
You got a good heart, Chicky. It's your brains I'm worried about.
Who's this hand job?
It's my next door neighbor. He brought me a beer.
Hey,
Good morning and welcome to another formation, DD214 Gaming, another Sunday morning. And today we're here with the one and only JediMasterSquid, Joe Squillini.
The war movie is a time-honored tradition. The first.
Shut up.
Mr. Squillini, welcome. Thank you for coming.
No problem. Thank y'all for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Dude, I gotta say, it's an extreme honor to have you here, sir. Like, thank you so much. And with a name like yours, like, I have to imagine you're a pretty badass individual. So I'm looking forward to chatting this morning.
Totally.
Yeah. So where you coming from today, man? What's the weather like? What's happening? Talk to us.
So North Carolina weather is completely
North Kakalaki.
Yep, North Kakalaki. It's raining, but outside of that, it's the weather.
He's pulled out Fireball, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh dear God! Just seeing that every time I see him bust out some Fireball, it gives me heartburn.
It's either him or it's me. It's one of us that does it, you know. And someone always dies at the end of the night. I mean,
somebody always fucking dies. Yeah,
I mean, it was just.
Is that not the story of every Fireball night?
I think
somebody always fucking dies.
Yeah,
it was
like that's.
I'm pretty sure back in the day, my entire existence left my body due to Fireball.
I mean, just a couple episodes ago, I took a shot on the air and I threw it all up. Seconds later. What do you want me to say?
Wasn't that like a thing in Game of Thrones where like it wasn't like a good fucking wedding if like 3 people didn't fucking die? You know what I mean? Like that's like every Fireball night, right? Like that's like literally every Fireball night. Like
oh man. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, I need to talk Jay, okay, so you got me into Westworld.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yep,
Joe?
We're all caught up. Yeah.
Oh, what about
I
you?
I have yet to even start Westworld. I keep hearing it talked about on the podcast. Just haven't had the time.
I would absolutely set aside time for it. So like, don't watch it until you have time because it does like wait. I can't wait to hear what John's gonna say right now.
Yeah. So so first 2 seasons, you don't see like just the curiosity of what fucking year is it? What kind of world are we living in? How advances technology at this point? And you don't see any of that the first 2 seasons. Fantastic. Lots of twists and turns. The last episode, the last 3 episodes of season 2 were fantastic. Well, the third to last episode, which took place in Shogun World, was the most beautiful episode I've ever seen in any TV show. A lot of tears going around. Then there was the second to last episode, which really pumped up the fury. And then the last episode, which was like, it was just a jumbled mess all over the fucking place. But
I've noticed that show kind of does kind of like teeter-totter over like when you actually like know what the fuck is going on and when you don't. And that kind of like, it reduces like my level of give a fuck, you know? So like that's a lot of times in those episodes, I swear to God, like I'll start fucking just like flipping open my phone and just being like, you know what, YOLO for a little bit until they get like back on track somewhere, because it's like I can't keep fucking 500 storylines together in my head.
Yeah, so now we have like 5 of the same character all over the place. We got we're in the year 2050 something, and I mean they're saying it's 2050 something, but everything is flying around. So I highly doubt
it could be 1990. It could be 1999, and we could be in the Matrix. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like,
but I'm also hearing some high things about season 4, so we're gonna see.
Squillini, what are you drinking? What are you drinking, Squillini?
Golden Road Brewing's Melon Cart.
Oh, okay, Golden Road.
Tell me about it's a wheat ale. They do the one I first tried was mango, because I'm a big mango fan. Just eating regular mango itself.
It's okay to have fetishes, bro. It's all good. Don't worry.
One of my coworkers actually told me about the mango cart, and I found a variety pack where it's their mango, melon, and then guava. The guava tastes like complete ass.
Okay.
It's not a good flavor whatsoever.
I apologize. Where's this brewery from? Like, where's that particular brewery from? Just out of curiosity.
Los Angeles.
Okay. So you got that Cali beer. Got that Cali beer going.
So
Okay.
it's but I mean it's a good beer. It's a wheat ale with a little bit of those fruity notes. So
Yes, sir.
it's not super heavy. I think these are only like 4.0 by volume. But
so it's like it's a good sipping beer.
It's a good sipping beer and a good summer beer as far as I'm concerned, because it's got those nice fruity, refreshing flavor to it, and it's not super heavy, so you can take a 12-pack to the pool and sit there for the whole day, drink all of them in an hour, and not be completely plastered.
Right.
I like that.
I love how casual fucking veterans are about our fucking alcoholism. You know what I mean? Where it's like
I mean,
normal people would be like, why the fuck would you drink a 12-pack at like in a single sitting? And veterans are like, because it's fucking Tuesday. You know, like because the day ended in why? What?
Deshaun is saying, how do you make a mango shake? I'm scared. Is this a trap? You take it to a scary movie.
Oh, come on. Oh, fucking boo.
That was a dad joke. That was a total dad
No,
joke.
he's got tons of them. He's got tons of them.
See Brian Granger, Dana Stark, Dylan Mason, freaking Joe Poe, dude. We love you, buddy. And Deshaun, like, welcome and good morning to all of you.
We got Frenchie
Welcome,
here.
Good morning to all of you.
Frenchie's in here. We have Ong Fio Thu.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming. You know, we have a full house today, guys.
How come I can't see their name? That's weird.
You don't got power like that, homie.
Man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. If John's lying, he's dying. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
So, I mean, this was a hell of a week, you know. I'm going to make so this is going to be a pretty cool thing to talk about. Starting today, ladies and gentlemen, I am now a full-time producer. Full-time.
Congratulations, John, dude.
Yeah, so we're going.
Yeah, where's the applause button? Where's the applause button? Come on, give yourself a round of applause, dude.
Thank you. So you know the time has come.
Fuck yeah, bro.
There's a lot of potential, and like I said, guys, this past week last week the announcement was made that the team is expanding. So you know we got to go full time. We're gonna, I get to spend time with my family now. I get to spend time with me. I get to do the work that gets to be done, and we get to make shit happen, man. You know, now we're going past making lemonade, and now we're making fucking sauce. All right.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yep. That's what I'm fucking saying, dude.
I just want to say something.
Gonna get that sauce all up in your face. Sauce on your face. All over your face.
Now, I just want to say a couple things too, and you know, this is gonna be pretty interesting. So, you know, this is kind of a weird transition, you know, because as you guys know, I've been pretty open about this. I've worked in retail for the last 2 years without skipping a beat, you know, and consistently being able to do the podcast at the same time. And, it was always busy. It was always kind of interesting. But, you know, I heard Jay say a couple times when he started working for the company that he works for that there's always another side. There's always another side to it. Once you get that DD214 blanket, you know, yeah, you got to do you got to build a little foundation after that. But when the time comes, it's time to be a champion. And yesterday, I heard a quote from a man named Phil Brooks. And if you don't know who Phil Brooks is, go Google him. He's alive. Whatever. And he said, everybody wants to be the champion until there's champ shit to do.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. Yeah. That's fucking same shit. Everybody wants to be fucking infantry until you're on the fucking front line, dude.
What I'm trying to say is that I got a vision, I got a plan, and I'm gonna do champ shit. So,
dude, fucking cheers to that, John. Cheers to fucking that, dude. That's a fucking winning. That's a winning goddamn attitude. Sounds like fucking John woke up and knows where his fucking dick is today, and I fucking like that attitude.
Yeah,
I fucking like that attitude.
The time has come. You know what I mean? I have a dream, it's time to follow it, man. It's
Fucking
time to
A, bro.
follow it. It's time to get shit done. You know?
Amen.
It's about and you know, and we're gonna have fun with that. And you know, and that's my 168. It's time, baby. It's time. So what do we got? Are you doing you want to do your week?
Let's I was gonna say let's talk to our guests for a moment, and then we'll get into my bullshit here after a while. But I really would like to hear from Squillini, because I think we got a lot to talk about. Can you Mr. Squillini, can you introduce yourself, and then give us a little bit of a background on yourself, and then just kind of tell us what you do, please.
Oh yeah. So Joe Squillini, I'm or JediMasterSquid if you find me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all those socials and stuff.
Badass name, by the way. Badass name, by the way.
I was MP for 7 years.
Okay.
And then from there, I went into the IT industry, kind of worked my way up from just doing service desk, help desk work, answering phones, doing that stuff, to being a system admin. While I was in the service, I, between deployments and full-time service, got my master's degree in computer engineering.
Yeah.
While you were in, you did that?
While I was in. So,
good for you, dude. I would love to. Yeah. Please continue, but I want to touch back on that later, so we can talk to if there's any active duty soldiers that happen to fucking run across this podcast someday. I want to hear about that part, but please continue. Go ahead.
So when I was going through high school, they started up a program in North Carolina called Middle College, where you got your high school diploma and your associate's degree at the same time. So when I joined, I went in as an E4, as a spec, because I already had my associate's degree. I think
Makes
that's
sense.
changed now to where you have to have a bachelor's degree to get E4 right off the bat.
I want to say it was similar to that when I joined. I want to say it was, but I apologize. What years were you in service? I apologize.
So 06 through 14.
Okay, yeah. So you were ahead of me, and you got out around the middle area of my career. So okay, that makes
what
sense.
stations?
Fort Bragg.
Good for you. Were you airborne?
I was. I was actually one of the. I was actually one of the last groups going through airborne training where they selected MPs to do airborne school.
Fuck
I was
yeah.
gonna say I have not. I've met a lot of very individual specific people in the Army with very, very specific duty titles or positions. I have not met a single airborne MP until today, sir. So I salute you. Airborne all the way. Airborne all the way.
Because at the time, MPs at Fort Bragg were in airborne divisions.
Right.
Right. Now they've changed that to where MPs are the only ones on Fort Bragg that are not airborne qualified.
Legs, dirty legs.
So I grew up at Fort Bragg. My dad.
I'm not airborne, so you actually have one up on me. I'm a leg. I'm a dirty leg. Just letting you know. Like, I just know how you guys talk shit.
Listen, I was an MP. I was the guy everybody loved to hate. So even though I was allowed to jump out of airplanes, I was also the guy that would pull you over because you were going 2 miles per hour over the speed limit on base.
Right. Right.
And that's just because military regulations are a lot stricter than freaking civilian regulations. If I was a city cop, I'd have never pulled anybody over for doing 2 miles over.
Of course,
that's ridiculous.
Of course. Tell me about the rivalry with the engineers, because I hold a prior before I was infantry. I hold a prior MOS as a 91 Lima, and it's very interesting that like I spent the first almost 5 years of my career on Fort Leonard Wood, including basic and AIT. So I got to see firsthand this rivalry between goddamn engineers and MPs, and I want to hear. Tell me about that. Tell me how much you hate engineers, and tell me how much engineers hate you.
So
my apologies. I was on the engineer side when I was in.
Honestly, anybody that's from like the 06 and up period did their basic and AIT that was an engineer or MP at Fort Lost in the Woods.
During the height of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yep. And because of that, that's really what formed the rivalry, because the MP training companies were rivaling with the engineer training companies. And in my opinion, it is what it is. Like, everybody has their job to do. I'm not going to be, obviously, as veterans, we're hard on each other anyways, even when we're in, whether your job's a cook or, well, cooks are the only ones we're not hard on because we don't want them to kill us with their food. Cooks and supplier are literally the only two we don't pick on, because if we need fresh gear or we want good food, we need them in our pockets.
Don't forget your mechanics. Don't forget your mechanics.
Mechanics too.
Yeah.
Because we don't want our vehicles to blow up on us while we're driving through the desert. But the engineers, it's more of a love-hate relationship with them and MPs, because even in a combat zone, when the engineers are in there building bridges and stuff, who do you think's pulling security for them? The MPs.
Right. Or at least during your time. During
my time. Now
yeah.
I think they're using
infantry.
Grunts. They're using the infantry to do
it's
that. But during my time, it was always MPs and engineers were always partnered together when we were overseas. I was lucky enough when I was deployed to actually be with Cav Scouts.
Where did you get to go?
So I did 2 tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan.
Jesus Christ, Squilly, you're a fucking 3-timer, huh?
I volunteered for 2. The first deployment was right when I got to my first duty station. The unit was getting ready to deploy, and that was all there was to it. The other 2 was I was that high speed, fresh out of everything guy when I was in, so it was just like, hey, sign me up, chief. Put me in, coach, kind of thing, because I didn't have anything better to do with my time, and I'd rather have been over there fighting for the cause than stuck back stateside.
You sound like me. I fucking love it.
So you had mentioned earlier that you came from a military family as well. So when signing up and going into boot camp and everything like that, so were you already like mentally prepared for some of the action that was about to come your way?
So yes and no at the same time. Growing up in a military family, of course, I knew everything to a certain degree. Growing up in a military family, I also, my dad made sure me and my brother were in Boy Scouts. Then in middle school, my dad enrolled me and my brother into a program called the Young Marines. Then my high school had JROTC, which I was a big part of. Cool. So I adopted the military lifestyle early on. My brother didn't want anything to do with it.
Can't say I blame him either.
And I don't blame him, but at the same time, I feel like for me, it did me good because I'm a lot more mature as an adult now. And even, a year in, than I would have been if I did the normal route that most kids do when they get out of high school, go straight to college, do the college thing, and then make a career from there.
How old were you when you joined?
I was right at my 17th birthday.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Good for you. I didn't join until I was 29, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. So
being in a military family, my dad gave me 2 choices. Obviously, he wanted me to better myself and have some kind of career planned out if things with the military didn't pan out. Because when 9/11 happened, I knew I was going in. That was the day I decided it's happening. I was only 13. So, of course, I'm young, stupid. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, even though I'm in a military family. Decide I'm joining. My dad wanted me to go to college more than he did want me to enlist, but then he talked me out of going to college after I worked my ass off to get accepted into West Point.
Fuck yeah.
And like a dumbass listening to my dad, I turned down a West Point scholarship to enlist into the fucking United States Army as a military police officer.
And then when you were in Iraq, which particular like provinces or areas were you in on your 2 deployments in
Both
Iraq?
times was when we were still heavily in Baghdad.
Okay. And then
so
and then
spent a lot of
Afghanistan.
time at Hussein's palace.
Oh,
That's badass, bro. That's fucking badass. That is fucking cool.
did you get to see the toilet?
Yes.
Yes.
That's fucking
toilet
awesome,
was
dude.
awesome.
I have a couple friends who I have one friend, Castillo. He was one of the first friends who went into the military when we were younger, and he went right in during that surge, and he was there at the palace too. And every time I talk to someone who was part of that, I always ask them, "Did you see the toilet?" Because
That's fucking
apparently
awesome.
the toilet was the talking point of the whole mansion, the toilet and the pool.
Oh yeah.
What when you went to Afghanistan, where were you at in that particular scenario?
So there it was more Kandahar province.
Okay. That yeah, like CAF basically.
Yep.
I spent an entire deployment on CAF, so don't feel bad about that, brother. Don't feel bad about that.
That was when so that deployment was actually my contract was up. I switched from active to reserve. Worst decision of my fucking life. I hated it.
Right?
The only way to get away from reserve was volunteer to go with my battalion, my reserve battalion, to Afghanistan.
Oh shit.
To get back into that active lifestyle.
I like your mentality. I really like. I gotta say, Squillini, I'm kind of impressed with your mentality,
dude. You're in it to win it, like straight up.
Yeah,
like,
that's really
you
just
went
going fucking dick on hard, dude. What else are you gonna do?
I could
What else
actually
you gonna do?
you went full hua, but you were still able to maintain a level of yourself with that, you know? Because sometimes you go full hua and you lose yourself, you know. But it looks like you still have all your pieces put together.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have all my pieces.
I was like, Jesus, John, like, don't put him on the spot, dude. Like, Jesus, like, we're all still healing, bro. We're all still healing. Okay.
But I mean, I did that voluntarily due to the fact that after 2 months in the reserves, I learned how fucked up the reserves was. The amount of, or the lack of structure in the weekend warrior aspect of the army,
right,
is ridiculous. And that's when I deployed with 1st Cav. So MP, jump wings, Stetson, and Spurs.
You got gold Spurs too, right? You got gold Spurs because you can deployed, right?
Because I did a full deployment with a cab unit.
Good for you, bro.
I'm authorized to wear the Stetson and Spurs in uniform with jump wings as an MP.
Good for you, bro.
Like,
that is I seriously, my hat is off to you, Joe Squillini, dude. Like, that's you had a very storied career, it sounds, and it sounds like you were on a very similar glide path, like myself, actually, where it didn't start off. You're talking completely humble origins, right? And it just goes into the fucking stratosphere because you just said yes. And sometimes you just gotta fucking say yes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I get it. No, seriously, man. I fucking get it. Like, it's like looking in a fucking mirror. Fucking tell us again about the getting your fucking masters while you're fucking in. I want to hear about getting.
That was definitely a very big feat, because during that time frame there were these deployments, and I'm also going to finishing my undergrad and going to grad school at the same time that I'm full-time military, deploying overseas into combat. What made me choose the IT field and going into computer engineering was the fact that IT is one of the only things you can go into and get your master's degree or your graduate degree fully online. A lot of grad schools, you have to go to campus. You have to be in a physical classroom.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I will tell you, it was hard. There was one semester where I failed all my classes because I'm in the middle of a combat zone. Anybody that's been deployed knows how shitty the internet is.
Fuck those little hockey pucks, dude. Fuck those little hockey pucks.
So, I mean, there were challenges along the way, but I still figured out a way to do it. And actually, right when I got out, it was due to a training accident. Fucked up my back big time. The unit, because I had finally gotten out of the reserves and back to an active duty station. That unit was getting ready to deploy. I was going on that deployment. It would have been my 4th time overseas because I just seemed to have that kind of luck where whatever unit I got stationed with, they were going on a fucking deployment.
Yep. There you go. There it is. Yep.
Training accident fucked up my back and my knee to the point where I had to get medically separated. If that didn't happen, when that unit got back, I was slated to go to OCS.
Oh, shit.
God damn, dude. Did you, I'm not trying to put you on the spot at all, but I remember the day I signed my fucking deck statement. Did you shed any tears when you knew, like the day you realized you were going to have to get out?
It was a bittersweet day.
Yeah.
Because even though it was 7 years that I was in, 3 deployments. So out of 7 years, I spent 3 years, if not a little bit over, in a combat zone.
I was just going to ask, how many combat stripes do you have? Is it 6? Do you have 6?
Yeah.
Good for you, dude. Goddamn, dude. John, like, let's get the fucking applause going, like a massive round of applause.
I mean, I served.
I got the better one.
I had more combat stripes than my first sergeant at my last duty station.
Cheers.
Dude, my heroes were always the guys that fucking like. Yeah.
Honestly, man, you know,
dude, I'm telling you, like it's like when you start stacking stripes, dude, it gets to be like not only
it's an addiction.
Yeah, it's not. I was gonna say it's not only a point of pride. It's like fucking like, whenever I put on my fucking dress blues, whenever I put them on, or the fucking pickle suit back in the day, I want you to fucking see. I want you to fucking see. I got fucking 5, and I'm like, super proud of myself, right? You got 6. You know, you and me both, Squillini. I know for a fact you and me both have seen dudes with like fucking 8, 10, shit like going up to their fucking elbow, bro. Like,
yeah, but those guys were all the guys that were in for 20, 30 years. Did like,
bro, like just like, and they had the same fucking luck. They just happened to be in the right place, right time, where like all they did was fucking deploy. And I fucking get it. I fucking get it, bro.
You know,
like,
Squillini, I gotta say, I didn't expect this. You've definitely shown your dick, bro.
Because my dad was,
look at it. Look at how hard and fucking veiny and throbby it is. Like,
my dad was, 30 years in when he retired out of the service. No combat stripes. He went in during Vietnam. 0 combat.
Exactly. Like dude, seriously. Like, and it's just, it puts your dick on hard, dude. It puts your fucking dick on hard, dude.
7 fucking years and 6. Like, you literally
spent almost half your fucking military career deployed. Mm-hmm. That is fucking phenomenal, sir. Like, holy shit.
If that training accident didn't happen, it would have been at that point that I spent half of the 8 years I would have been in at that point in a combat zone.
Right. That's fucking beautiful. That is just fucking beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Jesus Christ, Squillini. Speaking of which, your name. So, from the moment that you came in, and I know you and John kind of know each other, semi, sort of. Is that how did you guys?
This is actually the first time me and him are actually having a conversation, like a full-on conversation.
Okay. You guys met online? Did you guys meet online?
We've spoken on the DD214 Discord.
Okay.
Wolfpack. Woo woo.
Yep.
We spoke more through there. I got to learn a little more about him there. Learned a lot more throughout the couple weeks that Squillini, Jason Gassis, and Dylan Mason, they're pretty much our goof troop. They're the goof troop of DD214 Gaming.
That's fucking badass. That is fucking.
We all knew each other. I found out DD214 Gaming when Jason Gasses was on here last year.
Okay. Okay.
Because when he was going to be on the podcast, he, you know, told the group. I think that's when we all kind of tuned in, including Dylan.
That is the exact thing I encourage with our group. We are extremely decentralized, if that makes sense. So yes, there's administrators, yes, there's fucking moderators, but after that, it's literally like it is up to the community. Like, and we leave it entirely in the community's hands. And we are entirely veteran. We're absolutely veteran centric, but we are not veteran only. You can be a fucking family member, a friend, a fucking supporter, a fucking tag chaser. I don't give a fuck. You know, plug your shit. Plug your shit. That's what we're for. We are literally a group for the explicit reason to plug your shit as a fucking veteran or a veteran supporter, right? Like that's like literally what we exist for. And we do this podcast specifically for that reason too. Like it's just to fucking put it out there. It's like, hey, how about you do your shit? How about you go be the fucking star? Like I don't want to be a fucking star. You know what I mean? Like I want you to be the fucking star.
Yeah, because we don't want to be the celebrities. You know? We just want to talk to the real celebrities, which are you guys. You know, like I've always considered, like, for me, like Jay, I said this 100 times. You're like a hero to me. So for me, doing this show is like I get double the bliss.
We get to be surrounded. We get to be surrounded by fucking people greater than us. You know, you guys remember that fucking West Side Connection song, "Bow Down"? Bow down to the one that's greater than you. You know, yeah, that's right. Like I like fucking bowing down. I like fucking bowing down. I like being surrounded by my heroes. I like being surrounded by people who I consider are better than me. Okay, because if I don't surround myself with people that are better than me, where does that leave me?
Oh yeah.
Like I just got out of the fucking army, bro. I'm trying to raise fucking children. I'm trying to be a good man to my woman, my queen, right? How the fuck can I be a king? How the fuck can you be a king if you're not surrounding yourself with people fucking smarter, faster, stronger, more agile, more intellectually capable than you are? Just throwing it out there. Little life advice from fucking Jay Campbell today.
You could surround yourself with a guy like David Goggins, who gets hard all the time.
That motherfucker was fucking born with a goddamn erection. Are you fucking kidding me? Have you seen that motherfucker? Like, I literally can't watch his fucking shit. And this is in no way fucking talking shit on David Goggins. I'm not talking shit on him at all. But I can't even watch his shit because, like, my mind already fucking does that, like, to myself. When I watch motivational shit, it has to be slow. Like, I have a Henry Rollins motivational video that I watch. And I used to show it to my students at the NCO Academy at Fort Carson. Like, no shit. I used to show this fucking motivational video in the morning at the beginning. Like the first class I would teach every cycle, where I was the instructor basically for the day. I would show this fucking Henry Rollins motivational video, and it's just like it's like David Goggins, right? It gets you hard, right? But David Goggins is like hard at fucking Mach 10 plus fucking turbo drive plus fucking like massive erection plus fucking like you have a gun in your hands. And it's like, whoa, slow down, bro. Slow down.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm already doing it, okay? I promise you, I'm already there, right? Like David Goggins is great for the people that need to get the fuck off the couch. Like that's what David Goggins is great for, those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like people that had just given up for a while, maybe, if you want to call it that, and just let it fester like way too long. That's what David Goggins is good for. For fucking if you're already like somewhere in the medium range, you know, medium speed, like David Goggins fucks my head up because I can't fucking I get too fucking like red.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, my go-to is the Navy Admiral that did the commencement speech in 2014 at Texas.
We used to show that. We used to show our students that video as well.
That video, like, that is exactly, even to this day, even though I'm no longer in, that's how my day starts. I get up, the first thing I do is make the bed. because it makes
Oh,
me
he
feel
ca-
like
he
I've
ca- he came
accomplished
out-
something.
He came out with a book of that title, didn't he?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes,
he did. Yeah.
Yes, he,
Because
yes,
when you start your day by making your bed, and any of us that have been in the service, we know, you feel like you've at least accomplished one thing for the day already.
One fucking thing. That's all you got to do every day. One thing.
And it's such a small thing. And, you know, being somebody that works from home, I get up, I make the bed, I get a shower, I eat breakfast and I get dressed as if I'm going into an office. Like as if I have to physically go somewhere and leave the house.
Put yourself in that world.
Because it puts me in that mindset that, okay, now I'm got to work.
I like that. I like that a lot, to be honest with you, because like it's a mental thing. It's like a mental switch. Yep. You know, you put
Midnight Moss says that's why I don't make my bed. And Squillini, I want you to know, like, I totally get where you're coming from, but like I'm actually in the same boat as Midnight Moss. That's exactly why I don't make my bed. I force myself, because the small little victories that I get every day, I make them something other than making my bed. You know, like I force myself to do more. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
my bed's
so
made.
So here's the way I look at it: is making my bed is me just getting in that mindset that I'm going to accomplish something great for the day.
And you're not wrong. And I want to explicitly state you're not wrong, and that I love that philosophy and that mentality. I saw that speech and I loved it, and so like I forced myself to like one up it. I was like, if you're gonna leave your bed a mess, that means you have to do a lot fucking more today.
Well, see, and that's the thing. So for me, making the bed is me saying, okay, I've accomplished this small task. How can I one up this small task throughout the day?
Right.
It's not necessarily, okay, now I've accomplished something. It's now I have to one up the fact that I did get up and make the bed.
Right. That's for me. Making the bed is when I shower. I shower every fucking day. Usually between 30 minutes and an hour after I wake up, regardless of time. And that's freaking like, yeah, that's exactly why I leave the bed a mess, because like showering is my making the bed. And then when I'm done showering, I got like the day on top of that. Right. And I love this shit. And Dana Stark says, yeah, real gangsters just leave the bed a mess. Gangsters make the world go around, Miss Stark. Gangsters make the world go round, Mrs. Mando. Mrs. Mando in the house. Mrs. Mando in the house.
Yep.
Gangsters make the world go round.
Everyone's got their own routine. Well, now I'm changing my routine, because my routine for the last 2 years was roll out of bed, get the fuck out. Now,
I was gonna say you don't have a routine right now. You're getting ready to freaking hit the reset button, aren't you?
Oh no, the reset button was hit. Listen, there no breaks, baby. No breaks.
Yeah. So, that's right.
So
you just cut the brakes. You just cut the brakes and said, "Freaking like, let's go on the downhill. Yep. Time to slide, homie."
So I want to pick your brain a little bit about being a 31 Bravo. So, vehicles. Were there any cool little special things that are different than regular civilian police vehicles that were like, okay, well, this is pretty fucking cool? Because you do say in your profile that you sent to us that you're a tech guy. So there's obviously had been something that you noticed that was cute in the system of the police vehicle.
Honestly, so having buddies that are civilian cops and seeing civilian cruisers firsthand compared to what we had as MPs, they're the exact same vehicle.
Okay.
Everything down to the hardware. The only difference is
how many horsepower under the hood.
I'm not a car guy. I have no fucking clue. I just know it goes fast.
I love how honest that answer was, because I was an Army mechanic and I couldn't tell you shit about the fucking goddamn fucking like engines. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you shit. Still can spend fucking almost 5 years of my career as a mechanic. Still can't tell you shit about a fucking engine or fixing shit. I can do it. I just need a fucking like step-by-step fucking thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like still couldn't tell you a fucking thing about vehicles, dude. Still couldn't tell you a fucking thing. I love you, Joe.
So,
go ahead.
I mean, the vehicles are pretty much identical down to the hardware. The only thing is, and I'm not sure if this has changed since I got out, but when I was in, as an MP, we don't have laptops in our cruisers.
Okay.
Oh, no shit. Really?
We did everything by hand, from writing the tickets out to
I think that might have
freaking
changed. I think
filing
that might have
reports.
changed.
I'm sure that's changed.
I think that
just
I think
due
they
to the
still
fact
write
of-
they still write shit out, but I think they have laptops in there now. I want to say they do. Like,
Well, the amount of time spent handwriting out a report or having to take notes and then go back to the station and file the report via the PCs in the station
right,
is ridiculous. So I'm pretty sure they've by now adapted to the times and added that in there. Because the reason civilian police cruisers have the laptops is A, calls come through to 911 dispatch. The way dispatch does it is they hand them out through the computer system. They'll still do the radio system and radio, hey, if there's any available units in this area, we've got this type of call. Please let us know if you're going to respond. And then they'll say, their unit number and we're going to respond. And then they'll accept the call through their computer. And then when they get done with the call, they type out the report in the cruiser before they even go to the next call or start moving.
Oh, shit.
Where what I was having to do as an MP was hand notes, carry a notepad in my pocket,
excuse me,
write everything down, try to remember everything by the end of my shift, go back to the station 30 minutes before shift is over, and then be stuck at the station for 2 hours after my shift ended, typing up my reports from all the incidents throughout the day.
And then you don't get home to your lady until fucking 19 fucking 2000, and then you got to go fucking pretty much straight to bed after you eat a fucking cold plate. You know what I mean? And yeah.
And then turn around and be back up at 0400.
Oh, and by the way, you're going to fucking Afghanistan next year, right? This is why I have 2 divorces under my belt, ladies and gentlemen. Squillini,
I've got 3.
My hat is so fucking off to you, bro. My hat is so fucking off to you. Seriously, dude. Seriously.
I've got 3 divorces and 3 baby mamas, so I fully understand that. Them deployments, they screw you up.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, dude. Let me tell you.
Luckily, my divorces had nothing to do. Well, no, one divorce had to do with a Dear John situation. The other one was just shit not working out.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Squillini, you're the man.
But the worst part is that John was one of the soldiers that reported to me. That was in our rear detachment. So.
Oh boy.
Damn.
We will talk about that later. Another time. Before we get into my weekend review and Roadhouse, I do want to ask.
Roadhouse.
I made a joke. Amongst the very first few times you ever commented on this podcast. You've been around for a hot minute. You watch, you comment, when we're live, and I love it. And thank you for your viewership, by the way. Your name Squillini sounds to me like an Italian dish. So if we were gonna make Squillini, what would that dish consist of? We have got to figure this the fuck out, and we have to fucking make it.
So,
what would Squillini be if it was a dish?
See, that's it's funny that you say that, because growing up, it was always other kids and stuff in
Squillini.
School. You sound like a pasta dish, this, that, and the other. If I would have to say it's any type of dish, it would be some form of a baked ziti, because that was one of my favorite dishes growing up in an Italian household.
Deshaun, are you fucking taking notes, homie? I want you to fucking figure this the fuck out. Fitfo. Deshaun Myers, you need to make a Squillini, and it's baked ziti, and please continue.
So it would have to be some form of a baked ziti. Exactly what, of course, that's something that, you can be creative with how you're going to do it. But that's what I would think the Squillini would be if it was a pasta dish.
I like it.
It's your family name, brother, and I want to fucking represent it well. So Deshaun Myers, our resident chef. All right. And along with John Sanchez, our resident cook. All right.
92 off. I've retired, though. I'm retired.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I gotta say though, I've seen it rolls off the tongue so good, you know.
It really does.
Like Squillini. You know,
Squillini.
I like it. I like it, man. I like it, man. So,
That's fine.
So Jay, we are hitting our 50-minute mark. Let's hear what you got for the week.
Right. So, week in review. This week was beautiful.
Oh.
This week was beautiful in so many ways. Like, let me tell you guys, all right? I got lucky. I'm a lucky man. I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate. I know there's a lot of people out there that like have a lot of struggles in life, and I want you guys to know that like anytime I talk about stuff where I'm having like a really good time, I want you also to know that like the stuff I don't talk about is still there, okay? But I had a really good week. And so like this week, Friday was my youngest daughter's birthday, okay? So like the first time I ever saw my daughter, literally the first time I ever saw my daughter, I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, and she was already like almost 2 months old. I missed her birth so that I could reclass in the Army. And like, I didn't spend a birthday with her until she turned 3. And I've missed a couple in between then and now. So it was her birthday on Friday. And let me tell you about this little queen. All she wanted was to go to a bowling alley and like spend time with like family and friends. My daughters have never really had like a lot of birthday parties or stuff like that because we, you know, they were growing up in the military basically, and I just got out last year, so we're changing that now basically. But I invited some friends to the bowling alley, and my former in-laws are these wonderful people, and they came out last weekend and spent the entire week here in Kansas City and just stayed with my girls. And it's really hard to put into words how grateful and how blessed I have been in my life. When I talk to guys like Squillini, you know, when I know guys like you, John, you know, we've had people guests on this show that we've all lived the life, and we've all been through some like horrific shit. And instead of letting that shit beat you into the ground, you fucking rise up and you just say, fuck it, I'm doing it again. And the moments of beauty become that much more beautiful. So on Friday night, we went to a bowling alley, and it was my daughter's birthday, and we had a fucking blast. And we bowled for a while, and she opened presents, and we had cake and pizza, and we invited our guests back over to the house, and everybody hung out until about 10 o'clock at night, and it was fucking amazing. And I cannot really describe right now, because I'm still kind of like reeling in it, that like how fucking lucky I actually am. And that's like, and then fucking the day after, which is we're going to talk about, you know, in the Roadhouse here in a second. Like that's again, like my only words right now are grateful, humbled, beautiful. And I live with 3 queens. I exist around my heroes, and like they're queens, all 3 of them that I like share a household with. And I'm a lucky fucking man. I'm just a lucky son of a bitch. Like one of my taglines for my life is from, you know, that Misfits song when Danzig was still fucking lead singer. It's like, I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. You know, better think about it, baby, right? I'm a lucky son of a bitch. Like, and that's just real talk. I live with queens, and I exist around my heroes, and once a week I get to fucking talk to more of them. And I want everybody out there to fucking know that, like, this is a safe space, like, for all of you. Don't give a fuck where you've been. Don't give a fuck what you did. There ain't no fucking judges here. Okay? Nobody on this fucking podcast, nobody in this community is putting a fucking noose around your neck. All right? We're fucking here. We're here together. We're a fucking tribe. And that's exactly how we fucking exist. We might not fucking lead normal lives, and we might not fucking always be socially fucking correct. But what we do is the right thing because we have good hearts. And my mom always told me, no matter how many fucking gray hairs I put on her head, she always knew I had a good heart. And I'm telling you guys right now, having a good heart takes you a lot fucking farther than really anything else. Like, just if you set your compass to goddamn true north, you're never going to be wrong. You're never going to be fucking wrong. And no matter where you're at, you're going to get there. John, let's do the Roadhouse. Howdy, pilgrims. Been another 168. It's time for Jay's Roadhouse. Hope y'all had a good week. I've had a good one too. So let's sit down. Let's chew on some freaking trail dust. Crack open a beer. Open that bottle of whiskey sitting right by your side. Light up your smoke. Kick back and relax. It's time to ride. All right. So, after a beautiful fucking birthday Friday for my daughter, yesterday, on Saturday, literally yesterday, my goddess, my beautiful girlfriend Nikki, got tickets from her job to a Chiefs preseason game. Now, it's kind of hard to describe how close we actually fucking were. John, if you get a chance, I think I sent you something over Messenger yesterday. There's a picture. When you get a chance, I want you to pull that picture up if you can real quick. We were in row 4, section 119 at Arrowhead on the fucking literal 50-yard line. Like, if I drew a straight line from my dick to the fucking field, it went down the 50. Like, we were on the 50. We were in the middle seats in row 4. You know what I'm saying? And it was fucking badass. Now, granted, it was a preseason game. Okay? It's garbage time football. Garbage time football. You know, they're letting the rookies freaking take shots, dude. Like, freaking. And you know what? Beautiful. It was good football. It was a fun time. We had an amazing, immaculate time. The picture that John is showing right now, I took that from my phone, and that's how close we were. Literally, I zoomed in a little bit, so like the little kid with the red hat right there at the bottom, that kid was in the first row. So I was 3 rows behind that kid. But if you can imagine being in that kind of proximity, fucking close. Like, we can I could yell, and the players would hear us, right? And Arrowhead is a different experience altogether. When you go to a football game at Arrowhead, when you go to a football game at Arrowhead, it's just different. And it's like a high school football atmosphere with 70,000 fucking people. Okay? And I don't know how to describe that except it's fucking badass. Okay? And my goddess Nikki, she got a really big promotion at work, and she got offered these preseason tickets, and it was fucking awesome, and we had a blast. And it was because I live with a fucking queen. Okay? I was originally going to work, so this Roadhouse was originally going to be me working that game, and instead of working the game, I got to sit in row 4 on the 50-yard line on the Chiefs fucking side. And that's fucking really cool because I live with a fucking queen. Next week, tune in because next week I'm going to be working the Chiefs game on Thursday night. We have a Thursday night game, and it's going to be our final preseason game. So tune in next week. I am going to be doing security on Thursday at Arrowhead Stadium. So tune in next week to hear my Roadhouse about how bad I get my ass kicked fucking doing security fucking at our last preseason game, yeah? So that was the Roadhouse, John. Fucking here we go. Fucking what do we got for news? What do we got for news, baby?
Well, before we get to the news, I still got a couple more questions to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we still have a whole nother era of Jedi's life that we have to get into, and that was getting into streaming.
I want to hear about it.
Yeah, so you kind of touched on it. You kind of touched on it a little bit, and we actually had a conversation earlier before the show started on how mutual friend Dylan Mason, aka Midnight Mass, was actually a big part of bringing you in, of helping you set up to where you are today with streaming.
Yep. So yeah, with that, it all started. So last year in January, very bad time to try to make, professional career change moves and stuff like that. At the time, end of 2019 going into end of 2020 going into 21, because it's 22 now. Shit, fucking time just
and
no concept of it with veteran brain, as I like to call it.
Halfway too.
So end of
veteran brain is totally a thing. Veteran brain is totally a thing. I get you, bro. Like fucking seriously, like hearts, bro. Like veteran brain.
It sucks. But end of 2020 going into 21, I worked for Apple as a system as a hardware, or not a hardware engineer, but a test engineer for their software. And it got to the point where I was tired of the job. So I was like, I've got this more hardware background. I'm going to leave this job, start up my own business, doing custom PC builds and repairs. Not having looked at the prices for computer components at the time and what the market looked like, I just made the jump. And that's when, around that time I met Dylan or Midnight, and Jason Gasses and a few other people through another veteran organization that there were some issues with. We're not going to really touch base there.
Yeah. Okay, we get it. We have a touchy background story with this podcast as well. That's okay.
And we started doing a podcast called Going Dark Debates on Twitch on Friday nights, where we would talk about top 10 topics, stuff like that. And I was using my MacBook Pro and a shitty little USB travel mic that just could kind of clip on wherever, and the built-in webcam on the MacBook to do this. And Dylan and Jason played Fortnite a lot. They wanted me to get into it with them. So Dylan, at the time, had just bought a new PC because he was waiting on his current PC to get repaired under warranty. And when he got that one back, he said, the crawfish incident, that was freaking hilarious. I'll have to fill y'all in on that one. I think we still have a clip of it somewhere. I'll have to check.
Please do. We can use that for content. Please do.
So we're doing this, and then Dylan's like, hey, I've got this spare computer because he just bought a new one, waiting on his old one to get fixed through warranty. He said, you want to start streaming and gaming on PC? I'll send you the computer. You pay me when you can. That was the end of the conversation. He got my address, shipped me this PC. I used that PC up until about a week ago. And then a week ago, I built a new one. But really, Dylan kind of is what kickstarted my streaming, because if it wasn't for him giving me that gaming PC, and then me enjoying streaming, and streaming was more of a, for my own mindset, because with COVID and everything being shut down at the time, having PTSD and anxiety from time in service, I needed some kind of outlet that wasn't just sitting behind a screen playing a game with some buddies. I needed some interaction with other people besides just my small little group that I had at the time. And
I'm going to pull up your setup right now.
And from there, it's taken off. I mean, I know John's seen the setup evolve over the past several months even.
Yeah, and I just put up the picture of what it looks like now. It's beautiful. It's a really nice setup.
Oh, that's not even what it looks like now.
Oh,
it's changed since that picture.
And this was just a couple days ago.
It's always evolving. That's the thing for me. Is I'm always tinkering with new ideas and different ways to improve. For the longest time, I had one desk in a small corner of a room because I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment, had to share the office with the kid. Yep. Now I was able to take an entire room and dedicate it to my office. I had one desk that both my work computer and my gaming and streaming setup were connected through, and a bunch of switches to just move my mouse and keyboard from one PC to the next without having to unplug stuff. So that way it was convenient. Now I've got 2 desks. But it's streaming for me has been helpful mentally. And I enjoy it. I enjoy entertaining other people.
Man after my own heart. How about that? You're pretty much describing like the fucking genesis of like this podcast. So like that's really cool. Like
my girlfriend doesn't fully understand it. she's still at the you've spent this much money on this, yet you've only made this much in return type of situation. And it's like, I understand that. However, it's something
not about
I enjoy to do.
Yeah, it's not about that.
For me, it's not about the money. Yes, it's nice getting a paycheck every once in a while. Like I was telling John earlier, my entire first year of streaming, I saw nothing. And then this year, it's just blown up. I've made around about $8, $9, almost $1,000 since January of this year.
Cool.
There you go. By literally playing a video game.
By playing a video game. The way I do my streams is different than a lot of your big time streamers. So, like Ninja, Tim the Tapman, Dr. Disrespect, a lot of them, they jump in, go straight into a game, and that's all they do.
This is true. Yep.
I start off, and I always dedicate the first hour to just chatting and interacting with my audience and getting to know who's there. And, listening to some good tunes. I've got a whole playlist of DMCA free music that actually has lyrics, and it's more rock and heavier kind of.
That's the key. That is a key, a big key too, is it not?
And for me, it works because it keeps people engaged versus me just booting into a game and just now I'm playing a game and, chatting with the audience while I'm playing. But I've been doing it for, a little over a year and a half. This past April was my 1 year affiliated where I could actually earn income from it.
Fuck yeah.
I do have that mindset because I always set that mindset of I'm going to do great in whatever I do. And my mindset is not the end of this year because I've had some hiccups where I've had to take weeks off from streaming and stuff, but 2023 is going to be the year that I finally hit it to the point where I can go full-time doing it not have to worry about working for somebody else and living paycheck to paycheck.
I love it, man. So what's next? So I see you have your merch because I see you're wearing your shirt right now, which by the way, I love the logo. Who did the logo?
So that's actually, this logo is getting redesigned.
Okay, fantastic. You're hearing it first.
I'll fill you in on that offline.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not one to talk bad about people in front of other people.
Nor should you. Like manners are free. Manners
exactly.
are free. And you are correct.
That's a conversation we can definitely have offline.
Good for you, sir. Good for you. Cheers. Cheers to that fucking mentality right there, sir. Like seriously, like that's.
I mean,
you are.
I don't want to.
You are a man after my own heart. God damn it.
The person that did
Like,
my logo, he owns his own business. So, and more power to him.
Yeah.
We have our own personal issues. That's personal.
Squilly, you have nothing to explain to us here. And you know what? You are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Like that is the exact perfect fucking response to that.
Yep.
So the logo's getting redesigned. There's I wouldn't call it a rebrand because I'm gonna stay JediMasterSquid. I've been using the moniker of JediMasterSquid since high school on the Xbox 360.
Oh, hell yeah! So you practically own it.
Wait, where you graduate, boy?
06.
Oh shit!
I graduated the year I joined the army.
There you go. So it's already so the name has been stuck in you the whole time. So what was the idea of the name? Because it is a very unique name.
Well, he was in high school when the prequels came out, and he was probably in middle school when the fucking first prequel came out, right?
Daddy, chill.
So it was combining my nickname in JROTC in high school, which was Squid, with one of my favorite science fiction series, the science fiction realms of all time. Huge Star Wars fan. I'm just as big of a Star Trek fan as I am a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Same.
Probably one of the very few that isn't one that's on the Star Wars side trying to fight Trekkies. I'm in the middle, like everybody. They're both good series. Let's calm down.
Yeah.
So it was me combining my love for the Star Wars universe with my nickname.
I like that, man, and it fits. And it's pretty cool, man. Because I started off with my moniker was Ellipsis 2 Delta, and then I changed it to Wind Talker, and I think I'm coming into a new era, the Clean Sanchez era. But it's still, but it's cool. Gamer tags. I've always thought that gamer tags it's who you are. You know what I mean? And if you were able to get that gamer tag, that specific gamer tag before like anybody else has it, then you're good to go. You are known as that person.
The only reason on Steam my gamer tag is slightly different than everywhere else is because I had a Steam account under JediMasterSquid years ago that I no longer have access to the email it's linked to.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
So I had to create a new one and change it from JediMasterSquid to JediMasterSquiddy just to be able to have a Steam account similar to my actual moniker.
Well, at least
that's great.
At least you own the original one, right? Even though you don't have access to it, right?
Yep.
And it's actually funny too because it's an original name, so you can imagine that in socials it's not taken. So it was very easy to find you when I was doing the promotion, tagging you in the promotion. I was just like, well, there he is, So it makes it easier for business inquiries. It makes it easier for people to find you, and yeah, man.
Exactly, and that's the thing. When I started streaming, I played with the thought of changing it up. And then I got to thinking, when I do get big enough to where I want to start doing brand deals and promotions and sponsored streams and stuff like that, from a business standpoint, keeping JediMasterSquid is the best option there is, because there is no other JediMasterSquid.
That's right.
I'm the one and only.
There's never gonna be, dude. There's never gonna be.
Unless somebody becomes a hater and starts making fake accounts, but it's gonna be all some kind of alternate translation of it.
Yeah.
Because I own it on Twitter. I own it on Facebook. I own it on Instagram. I own it on Twitch. I own it on Trovo, which is a newer streaming platform.
Yes.
Haven't streamed there yet because I just haven't taken the time to make the jump and start even doing one day over there.
Especially if you're still established on Twitch too. That's a harder transition.
Exactly. So, I own that moniker. I own it on Steam, on Epic, on Xbox, on PlayStation. on Nintendo. Every platform that has some kind of online presence, Jedi Master Squid is what it is. For
Fuck
me.
yeah.
And it would have taken way more time to create new accounts on everything, claim the brand, and do all that. I'm currently in the process of working on actually setting up Jedi Master Squid as a LLC.
What?
So that way it's a legal, I own it. Granted,
I love it.
again, nobody's going to be able to take the moniker on any platform at this point because I already have it on every platform.
Yep.
But from a legal standpoint, and now that I'm earning that income to where I have to file it as a 1099 on my taxes, I want to LLC it to further secure the spot.
Absolutely. I think it's so cool too because back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have Twitters, we didn't have the Instagrams, we didn't have all this stuff. So we had, for Poor Man's Trademark, I'm sure you're familiar with what that is. With Poor Man's Trademark, you would have to mail these likenesses and these copyrights to yourself without any type of technology, and it's almost like these social medias now are that poor man's copyright now.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Because I know all about the poor man's copyright because growing up, my mom, she wrote books.
Oh, sweet.
Children's books and some adult books. She had her PhD in metaphysics.
Sounds like a smart lady. Metaphysics. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. You are descended from good stock. Good
so,
USDA,
growing up,
USDA grade A prime beef right there.
Every time she would make edits to any of her books or anything, instead of spending the money to properly copyright it, she did the poor man's copyright. Drop the, draft into a brown envelope, mail it to herself, boom. And for those of us that do some kind of content creation, our poor man's copyright is social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Is by being the first person to grab that name on any platform.
And if someone more richer than you gets that name, they could buy it off of you. So works both ways, kind of. So
it really does. Somebody fucking drop me 10 million right now. You can have it. Fucking give me $10 million right now.
Oh, it's going to take a lot to buy Jedi Master Squid off of me because I'm so engulfed in the brand.
You are Jedi Master Squid.
Exactly.
It's kind of like if Ninja did a rebrand. It would be weird not to call him Ninja. So it would be weird not to call you Jedi Master Squid.
Are you guys saying you wouldn't take like an exorbitant amount of money?
Oh no, I mean if Joe Blow investor walked up to me tomorrow and said, "Hey, here's $20 million. I want to buy Jedi Master Squid off of you." Okay. I'm selling it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll rebrand under my legal name at that point. I don't care.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
You gonna offer me $20 million for the brand? I'm not gonna argue with that. Where's the paperwork?
Yeah.
That's a smart man right there. Man after my own heart. And he's honest, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this guy's fucking stream. John, we got news, dude?
Yep, we got three news bits before we get to the end here. Our first one, we're gonna start off with good. Well, two are good news. The third one's kind of bad and good at the same time. But record pay increase is coming for disabled veterans and military retirees in 2023. Guys, remember, all our news comes from military.com. Military retirees and veterans receiving disability pay from the Department of Veterans Affairs are likely to see record monthly check increases for the second year running thanks to the pace of inflation, according to new estimates. The increase would be the highest veterans and seniors have seen since 1981 at an 11.2% increase. Okay? So for 2023, that means military retirees will see an average increase of more than $240 in their monthly retirement checks. Veterans receiving disability compensation from the VA also would see their monthly disability payments increase, with their average monthly amount going up more than $150. So keep this in mind, guys. I'm a 70%er. Okay, so that means next year I'm gonna have another $150 in my check, and that's great because I'll be able to buy some more food, buy some more clothes, live the life that I'm supposed to live.
Take care of them beautiful freaking kids and your beautiful wife, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we out here, man. So guys, also I also want to stress out to you, please go out there, and if you are not receiving your VA benefits, go out there and sign up yesterday. Life-changing, go for it. In next news, British soldiers in Afghanistan counter-attacked a Taliban ambush with a bayonet charge.
Oh yeah, that's the British. Yeah, the British had a bayonet charge in Afghanistan. That's absolutely correct. I used to tell that story to my students at the academy at Carson. Why don't you, John, go ahead? Why don't you read what you got from the clip there?
All right.
Go ahead.
So Corporal Sean Jones was leading a patrol of members of 1st Battalion, the Princess of Wales Royal Regiment, through Karakan, a village in Afghanistan's Helmand province, in 2011. Their mission was to draw out a team of Taliban insurgents who were responsible for building and placing improvised explosive devices. For those who don't know what those are IEDs. You've heard the term before. As the unit moved into an open field, they crossed the ditch on their way back to a checkpoint. As Jones emerged from the ditch, the Taliban sprang their trap. When the shooting started, he threw himself to the ground. The British soldiers were caught in a kill zone with fire coming from 3 directions. They took cover in the nearby ditch, but the Taliban fighters drew closer as they returned fire. We had to react quickly, Jones said in a statement from the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense. There was something different about this. It was obviously a well-planned ambush, and they overwhelmed us with fire from 3 points initially. To throw the ambush off balance, the British soldiers fired a rocket at one of the enemy positions. Jones then ordered 3 of his soldiers to fix bayonets. The 4 went over the top of the ditch as the troops still in the ditch with their platoon commander provided suppressive fire. They charged across 260 feet of an open field toward the village as it was sprayed by enemy fire. The charge caught the Taliban fighters off guard, and one of the enemy positions began to fall back, and the others were still firing the British troops remaining in the ditch. Jones launched a second assault on another enemy-held position. What started as a carefully planned ambush turned into a decisive rout for the Taliban, and the rest of the platoon was soon able to join Jones' detachment. For this audacious bayonet charge, Jones received the Military Cross, the UK's 3rd highest award for gallantry in combat, from Prince Charles. According to his Military Cross citation, the British troops in Karakan were under heavy fire for 29 minutes. Hell of a fucking story.
In my opinion, that medal should be upgraded to Great Britain's fucking highest award.
Do we know
that kind of tenacity under fire, and
anybody that's crazy enough to get their entire group to
making a call, when you make a call like that. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood. I joined a lot late, even though I'm a little bit older than JediMasterSquid here. I joined a lot later than he did. I was one of the last basic training companies at Fort Leonard Wood. This is in 2010 to conduct bayonet training in basic training. And I'm telling you guys right now, like, they had it in basic training for a reason, and they should probably bring it back. Like, no shit. Yep. Like, what makes the green grass grow? Blood, bright red blood. Why is the sky blue? Because God loves the infantry, right? So, like, it's a fucking bayonet charge. Like, you're gonna die today. You're gonna fucking die.
The highest decoration of valor.
Before you die, John, you have to take a couple people with you.
Oh, of course.
Okay?
Of course.
That's the only way into Valhalla.
The highest decoration for valor in the British Armed Forces is the Victoria Cross.
Yeah, I think that gentleman should be, his award should probably be upgraded. Like, that kind of tenacity under fire, making a way outside the box fucking call like that, but the fact that it worked because he made the call. We operated during GWAT. We operated under a very bureaucratic military machine, and a lot of the calls that got made from way over our heads didn't make a lot of sense. a lot of times.
They
And
didn't make a lot of sense. They made no sense at all.
well, I'll let our guests say that. I'm not gonna. Point being, when you got a fucking goddamn lieutenant, like a fucking cherry fucking butter bar, whether he or she is from fucking UK, the United States, one of our NATO allies, fucking somebody in the fucking European Union, I don't give a fuck. When you got a cherry LT and they show how goddamn big their fucking balls are, and they have to fucking literally like use a wheelbarrow to fucking wheel them around when they make a fucking call like that, they did the right fucking thing. They did the right fucking thing. And and look, it fucking worked. In that particular instance, it fucking worked. That shit is way. So, what John said earlier, he received the American equivalent of the Silver Star. I am arguing for fucking Medal of Honor on this one, dude.
The Victoria Cross for him.
Victoria Cross in the UK is the equivalent of the Medal of Honor. He received the equivalent of our Silver Star.
I would go on to guarantee to say that lieutenant was an NCO before he became a lieutenant.
Ooh, we'd have to look that up, John. Was he a fucking Mustang?
He was a corporal. So whatever the corporal equivalent
He was
is
a corporal
to it.
before. He was a corporal before what?
Oh, it was a corporal that made that call?
He was a corporal.
So he wasn't enlisted.
He was enlisted. He wasn't even an officer that made that call.
Are you sure, John?
Oh,
Read it again.
Corporal Sean Jones.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
Yeah,
at
that time.
He made the at the time. Did he make the call?
He made the call. It was him. Corporal Sean Jones. He launched both attacks.
Leave it to a corporal to do some shit like that, though.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Victoria Cross. Hey, Britain. Hey, Britain, whenever you find this podcast, you fucking fucks. Give your fucking boy a fucking Victoria Cross for that shit.
They found it. Wales found us. In our last military news.
By the way, the Princess of Wales Regiment. Do you know who the Princess of Wales was?
No.
It's Lady Diana, dude.
Oh, Princess Diana.
Lady Diana was the Princess of Wales. So, yo, fucking Ronnie J.
Yeah, and now.
Drill Sergeant. Hey, Drill Sergeant.
So our last military news is someone else who's now joining the DD-214 Wall of Shame. All right. Her name is Gabrielle Butler, 31 years old, was the post commander of the veterans of Fort. You heard about this. Was the commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars in Livonia, Georgia, post 5897, when the local police flagged the suspect criminal misconduct for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The GBI said that they discovered that Butler faked being a veteran using fake IDs to buy Purple Heart license plates and forging military discharge documents, all which got her the job at the VFW. The woman was arrested at her job and charged with forgery, distributing false identification, and misrepresentation of veteran status, according to investigators. Ladies and gentlemen, this is stolen valor at its finest. Like, dude, at its finest.
I got really bad news for everybody out there. I've only heard of one BI after the FBI, and it's GBI. I am very well read. I'm very well read. Like, the GBI is no fucking joke. If you are in the state of fucking Georgia, the GBI fucking exists, okay? And that's the only BI I've ever heard after the FBI. Don't fuck around in Georgia, kids. I'm telling you right now. You will get found out real quick. And this fucking bitch, fucking my boy fucking Ronnie, he says this chick is such a filthy whore, and there's a special place in hell for that bitch. Tell you what, Ronnie, you and me are gonna be on a couple of levels fucking above that fucking poor fucking pussy, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ, here we
it's
go.
Fucking.
I'm in danger now.
When we get there, we'll make it rain, dude. We'll just fucking piss on her. Yeah.
I was gonna say, can we be the monkeys in the level right above throwing the shit at her?
That's basically what it's gonna be, right? We're gonna be there too, but not for fucking stolen valor, right?
Yeah. So I mean, this is a terrible. This is terrible. I mean, I don't even want to know if she was even a good job or not, because I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like.
I'll tell you right now, being a life member of the VFW, and honestly, and I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna step out of my podcast character for just a second and just be real about it. As a life member of the fucking Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I've seen kind of like the ins and the outs over the last few years. I attend monthly meetings and I take it very seriously. It's a very serious part of my life. It's not a fucking hobby. I still consider being part of the Veterans of Foreign Wars a process of continuing to serve my country in whatever small ways that I can. People like this exist, and there are people who look to take advantage of what you might call disadvantaged posts. And it doesn't have to be the VFW. It can be the fucking Legion. It could be a fucking organization like the Eagles or the Moose Lodges. It could be your local, you know, the local Union 509, you know. There are people that always look to fucking snake their way in to organizations and institutions. Okay? It could be your local fucking church around the corner. You know, so if you're really cool and you don't hang out with us on Sundays like the heathens that we are, and you're at church right now and you're listening to this like Monday or Tuesday morning, I get it. I get it. Do your thing. But watch out for fucking snakes, dude.
Yep.
Ask fucking questions. Fucking vet people. Okay? Make sure they are who they say they are. That's how you get fucking deceived. That's how you get fucking deceived. That's how you end up with a fucking president that fucking tries to take over the fucking country like a dictatorship.
Ronnie J says, I'll rappel down from our kick-ass circle in hell and personally find that bitch to stomp her out with my decaying ghoulish leg.
You should ask Ronnie J what his platoon's name is. He got to name his own platoon.
So I'm gonna just say this, Ronnie.
You should ask him what his platoon is.
I'm gonna say this, Ronnie. After we're done stomping her, we're gonna use her intestines for the rope for the next time we have to go down to that circle.
We have to go to the next circle down anyways to fucking like be assholes to them, right?
Isn't there 7 layers?
Oh, there's no. If you're going off Dante, I think there's 9. I think there's 9.
Yeah, it's 9 circles of hell.
Yeah, if you're going off Dante, there's 9. But here's the cool part. Hey Ronnie, I want to hear the name of your platoon, dude.
Yeah, what's the name of your platoon?
Put the name of your platoon up, because I guarantee you, like, these poor bastards don't fucking even know what that word means. But like he named his basic training platoon. This fucking like he gave him the most badass nickname I've ever fucking seen.
What's up,
Jason Gassis. Welcome.
The Witchers. We're the Witchers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up to the end of our show. Joe Squilini, JediMasterSquid. Final thoughts, and where can we find you?
So, I mean, final thoughts. I just, I don't really have many. It's been a great time with you guys, talking about all the shit we've experienced, or at least, what I experienced during my time in, from military all the way through to where I'm at now. And as far as where I can be found, I live stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays on Twitch at JediMasterSquid. And on Wednesdays, I stream for another veteran organization,
Cool.
Basement Game Works.
Cool.
I'm actually the lead for their stream team.
Nice.
And then currently working on and trying to get the YouTube side started up and videos posted over there, which is also JediMasterSquid. Actually, all my socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Trovo, JediMasterSquid is the way you can find me. Because it's a brand. It's a lifestyle. It's not... Being the JediMasterSquid is a lifestyle. It's not a choice.
I love it.
Being a fucking soldier is a fucking lifestyle. Being a fucking gangster is a fucking lifestyle. JediMasterSquid sounds to me like you're fucking both. How about that? Hey, do you have an OnlyFans? Joe Poe's asking if you have.
There's been moments financially I have thought about either OnlyFans or Foot Finder or whatever the fuck thing is.
Hey man, hey, $20 is $20, bro. Like, just fucking just tell me what you need me to do. Revenants. That was the one. Revenants. John, look up the fucking definition of revenant. Fucking there it is, Ronnie.
Isn't Revenant the movie where Leo DiCaprio got
yes,
by a bear?
Mauled by a bear.
Revenants. Can you guys imagine being in a platoon where your name is the Revenants?
A person who has returned.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
From what, though? From what, though?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Make sure you tune in next week we have Jeremy Strobridge next week. On September 4th, we have Axe Jackson. September 11th, we're doing a special 9/11 episode.
There we go.
Guest, we are still deciding if we're going to have a guest or not. And on September 18th, we are having active duty NCO and streamer Crazy Ace TV. So we are lined up for the next couple weeks. Joe Squilini, JediMasterSquid. This should have happened sooner, and we got to do this a couple more times, 100 more times again. Thank you so much for coming. The final thought, guys, you know what it is. We don't bullshit here, all right? We don't fucking bullshit here. We let you guys know every single week, okay? If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you have that cloud over your fucking head, guys, call us, call a friend, and if you don't want to call us or a friend or even talk to the stranger that's walking down sipping on that coffee, it's fine. Dial 988. Dial 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK, guys. There's someone always sitting there waiting to listen to your story, waiting to be there for you today. This is, we can't stress it enough. 22 a day, that is still the number that we're going for. 22 is way too much, guys. Joe, much love. We appreciate it, man. Good luck to everything that you got going on. Jay, as always, keep being an arrowhead.
As always, I'm a lucky son of a bitch, dude. But I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch, yeah.
So right before the music comes on, you're gonna hear a little something to pump you guys up for the fucking day. Just it's gonna be all right, guys. Here's a little Joey Diaz, and then we're out.
The White House, whoever the fuck is going on, but it don't matter. They want to shoot, it's time for us to fucking shoot, cocksuckers. They want to get down and dirty, don't forget who the fuck we are, you understand me? We're the baddest motherfuckers out there. You send a message to that fucking North Korean, he's gonna be sniffing my dick and sucking my asshole. That's the focus. We're going to North Korea in like a year. It's gonna be an island. It's gonna glow in the dark. You know why? Because we're Americans, cocksuckers. Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? Stop with the gun control. They're selling more guns than ever the last 3 days. Stop with the fucking whining. Stop with the Russians on Facebook. I don't give a fuck. Worry about yourself. Keep your eyes open and get the fuck off Snapchat and fucking Twitter, cocksucker. Stay black.
Yeah, you can fucking have